AEC monocoach and Bristol LS6B typified the investment in road transport, which had almost totally supplanted the railway's branch line services throughout the borders in the early post-war years. These scenes, filmed in Jedburgh in July 1956, show the arrival of a united Newcastle to Glasgow service in the form of a 35-seater Bristol L5G. Small independent operators and Scottish-based SMT also served the town, which had lost its passenger service in 1948. Leaving Jedburgh, we return to the main line, passing northwards through Melrose before arrival at Galashiels, the station's flower beds impressively framed by sections of rail. Yet another A4 on rail tour duties, on this occasion 60031 Golden Plover in the Easter of 1963. 1957, and the 3rd Company Boys Brigade, Galashiels, marched through the streets en route to the station at the start of a journey to Holland. The 34 boys under the command of Captain Jimmy Miller were to stay near Arnhem, visiting the site of the Second World War battle. This battle for the Rhine crossing at Arnhem had a particular significance for the party, with Galashiels' local regiment, the King's Own Scottish Borderers, being heavily involved in the fighting. The special leaves southwards, with ex-LNER A3 Pacific 60093 Coroner heading the train as far as Carlisle. Galashiels was also the junction for a secondary line to Edinburgh via Peebles, the first station on the route being Clovenfords, 3 miles from Galashiels. The 36-mile line ran parallel with the Waverley route until rejoining it at Hardon Green Junction near Edinburgh, 9 miles to the south of Edinburgh. After crossing the River Tweed, the line entered Walkerburg, 7 miles from Clovenfords. A further 2 miles brought the line to Innerleithen, one of the largest stations on the line, and possessing the first crossing loop north from Galashiels. Just under halfway to Edinburgh was the Royal Borough of Peebles, which as an industrial and tourist centre generated most of the freight and passenger traffic on the line. Steam motive power was generally supplied by Edinburgh St Margaret's Depot, and the last steam-hauled passenger train ran on February the 3rd, 1962, with a Class J37 64587 at its head. The last regular diesel passenger services on the Peebles line also came to an end in February 1962, 107 years after the opening of the town's first railway. 4 miles to the north of Peebles was Edelston Station, the village situated in the valley of Edelston Water, overlooked by the Cloyk Hills. The line crossed the A701 at Ledburn, a small village in the Lothian moorlands and half a mile north of the line's summit. 30 miles after leaving Galashiels was the station at Pommerthorne, situated on a hillside overlooking the nearby town of Pennycook. Just over 12 miles from Edinburgh lay Roslin Lee Hospital Halt, with access to the adjacent hospital being through a gap in the hospital's boundary wall. Hawthorn Junction, where a short branch from Pennycook joined the Peebles line. These views, taken from a southbound service, show the spacious layout of the junction station. The branch line to Pennycook, together with sidings to handle the town's freight traffic from its printing industry, lay just south of the signal box. The 15 miles per hour speed restriction applied to the branch, which started with a severe downhill gradient. Journey's End, Edinburgh's Waverley Station. The short-sighted decision to close the line mirrored the decision taken several years later to close the Waverley route. In addition to depriving rural areas of rail services, the expanding commuter areas to the south of Edinburgh were left without a basis on which to develop a modern public transport system. Within a short time of closure, the demolition crews commenced their work, and in common with much of Scotland's rail system, the Peebles line passed into railway history.